Good day. Welcome to another exciting installment of Go Challenge. In the upsetting challenge, we're going to start off with this absolutely huge piece of 4 inches by ½ inch square. And I would like, hopefully, to upset this to about a 1 inch cube. So this is going to be a fun and entertaining time. I've not done this before. I saw it done at a blacksmithing conference and I thought, oh, that's perfect exercise for today. I've got a few of my different hammer weights. I usually forge just my standard demo hammer. It's 1.75 pounds, so it's pretty light. I've got my 2.5 pounder and a 3 pounder just in case I need something with a little bit more penetration. I'm going to start off with the 2.5. So here we go, drop it in the fire. So we know from the volumetrics that if we take take 4 inches half square, we know that that is going to give us a cube, because 4 inches, 4 1-inch pieces stacked together will give us that nice cubular form. So it should be relatively simple in construct, but we know from this series of videos that the steel is basically going to do everything I don't want it to do. It will try and buckle on me. One of the most common things is it'll do that, and the pressure will start transferring into bend rather than into compression. I'm going to have a go at chilling the top and bottom to see if I can get that middle section to upset first. If I can get that to swell up quickly, that should reduce my problems with it buckling. If the top starts to mushroom, I'm going to have to control that and keep that energy transferred in the center. All kinds of fun shenanigans. I've got 2 pairs of tongs so I can switch between the two, because I'll probably want to hold it in the mid-drift. Also, when I'm holding, I don't want to grip it too tight because that could actually hinder the upsetting, and you'd essentially upset around the tops. So, all kinds of fun bits and bobs here. Hopefully we don't wind up with an excessively long video, as Jessica informed me. So, looks pretty hot. I've got a slightly off-centered heat, which is beneficial for what I want, and hopefully this will go well. There's that buckling I was expecting. Back up into position, see if we can get build in. So I've got a nice little angle forming on the top there, which is really not ideal. So I'm going to try and get that trued in a little bit before I go in for my next heat. I do seem to have got a little bit of swelling here. It's pretty good. And again, on the other end of this, I want to get that face so the energy transfers more centered as I go for the next step. It looks fair. I think I'm going to try a pair of flat bits. They may or may not help. We'll see. And on this round, I think I'm going to try just dipping the 2 ends, see if that will help. Jessica, you got any thoughts, comments?
No, I'm just enjoying the show.
I think this, for those of you that have got cold forges, I think you'll find this a little easier than those with gas forges. You can really control that heat, isolate it well into the center. Maybe. So it was the Missouri conference that we saw this at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great conference if you're ever out in that direction. They had 10 minutes to get as close to a cube as possible. And I think of like that 8 people that did it, there were 2 that were really, really close. So that's pretty impressive to bash this out in 10 minutes. 2 tongs ready.
I'll give you 20 minutes.
Huh?
I'll give you 20 minutes.
Oh, Lord. I don't know how much of a benefit cooling off the ends really is. It might reduce deformation. Not really sure. Seems to be shrinking. I think I prefer the flat bit to hold. It's a little bit more sketchy, but it seems to allow the material to swell better.
It definitely looks smaller.
Let's take a quick measure. I think I'm about 3 inches, maybe a little under. Ooh. Ah, almost at 2.5.
Look at that.
How surprising. I might just try 1 pair of tongs this time. Grab it at the end. Steel rulers are fantastic until, especially with these folding ones. A number of times you might have noticed on some of the videos, I'll get a hot spot and then I'll go to fold it up and burn myself. So watch out for that if you do use these confounding contraptions. I suppose I'll put myself a 1-inch mark on the anvil. Might as well go that way as well. I like that weight of hammer, at 2.5 pound. This is quite a weight forward hammer compared to my normal forging hammer. It was kind of an experiment that I wanted to do. It's not as nice if you're cross peening, but when you're just powering down and moving material, it's pretty good. I think it's a quarter of an inch offset further back, which puts like a quarter of a pound further into the front. I don't know whether that transfer will get better. Hey. I know the jaws on this tong are 7/8 wide, so if I'm getting close to the dimension of the tongs, try not to bash the hell out of them. Get that top end back in order. Should help. So every time I go back into the fire, I'm flipping it because I know that my heat and my fire isn't necessarily even because I've got two burners. I'm trying to drop it more or less underneath the one burner, but also when I strike, I want to be alternating ends that I work from. If you might find this as you go through this and have a play, that because your hammer blow doesn't penetrate enough, you'll get more mushrooming on the top than on the bottom. So I'll have a play around with that as an idea. I'm going to need some narrower tongs, because I'm starting to beat these to death. I'm going to switch it out for a pair of these. Little pair of 1/4" bolt jaw.
Oh, you're at your 10 minutes, by the way.
That's 10 minutes.
Uh-huh. Well, 11.
11.
But you spent at least a minute in the beginning talking, so.
So kind. So I should have been done by now.
Yeah.
Water break. I think the thing that will be the hardest at the end of this is actually getting it vaguely square or cubed. As you're doing it, you'll notice your tongues actually get pushed apart. So don't grip too tight, otherwise you're actually going to hinder the upsetting. And I'll flip it over away from the top side. With an angle. I might bump up my hammer weight for the next section. Just get a little bit more penetration.
Starting to look like a thing.
Yeah, that went far smoother than I thought it was going to. So that was a 2.5. I'm going up to a 3-pounder, which should give me just a little bit more penetration. Though, face mass at the front, they're actually about the same. So I don't know whether that's going to make any difference, but I'll give it a whirl. These are the moments that I wish I had my 5-pounder instead of having it at home. Now I've got a little chubbier piece, I can stand it up on end so that when I grab it I won't be repositioning my grip. I think I want to push past the 1-inch point and then come clean from the sides. I think. I have no clue what I'm doing with this. We're going to hit the 20-minute point.
I don't know. We'll see.
Flipped it over so that I'm getting even heats. Trying to get that penetration all the way through because it's the core that I want to move more than anything. That went fairly well. Yeah, I like that weighted hammer for that bit. Okay, let's try and square everything. Trying to get a little bit of tromperoid out. Don't like that. Might need one more heat for that.
got me.
I keep you on your toes. I'll get you next time. I think that's pretty well roughed in. Just need to tinker with it a touch.
Well, you've got
How many hits was
4 minutes
4
to
minutes?
tinker with it.
I like the smaller jaws on those. Certainly for this later part, you can really feel it swell. So when I was coming down, especially on that last push, I was actually releasing the tongs almost so that I'm not touching them. That's probably why I slung the thing at you. Because the swelling was so dramatic inside the tongs, I feel like if I'd held a grip, it would kind of mushroom over the top. Alright, square this sucker up.
Looks pretty cubey.
It's pretty cute. It's a little off. I think I might have to live with its slight offness, but pair of beetle nose tongs might be good. I don't use those very often. This might be one of those occasions. These essentially do the same thing. Have I run out of time yet?
Not quite.
Not quite. I suppose I should quit mucking with it. There's still a little bit of heat energy in this, so it will still push slightly. Yeah, I reckon I'm done if it's thrown itself on the
I
floor.
think you're done, yeah.
I'm gonna cool that off.
Yeah, cool it off and let's measure it.
When it shrinks, what was it? 5% when you cool it off.
Well, that's okay. That's natural.
Alrighty. So it's kind of an interesting little thing to have a look at. Stanger.
You're right there?
Yeah, floppy like. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing because when I had that crease, when it started to kind of amoeba, that crease is right there. So that was the controlling of that, not catching it early enough. It's a little, not quite perfectly cuboid, but that's a bit of fun. And size-wise, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. So volumetrics don't lie. There you go. A little bit of witchcraft.
Nice.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Go have a whirl at it, see what you think. You're going to learn a lot. As I said, that was my first shot at it. Very interesting. Go give it a try, see if you get all the same mistakes as me, and see if you can learn how to control them. Maybe you can make yourself a full set of die. Have fun.